And then we'll switch cheeks, look towards the right side. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. If you think you need help with the strap, feel free to raise your hand, I will help. We're going to use our right hand to grab onto our right ankle, or we can grab onto a strap to make our arms a little longer. We'll just take a moment if it feels good. Just holding our ankle, big breath in, big leg stretch here. Long breath out. Big breath in. Now on the exhale, slowly release the foot, bring the foot back down to the mat. And we'll just take a moment to relax everything. I'm going to do one more back stretch. We'll take a big inhale in. Let's interlace our fingertips behind the back. So we'll just take a moment to get ready. As we breathe in, we're going to press the hands away from the shoulders, down towards the legs. And we're going to lift the chest up, and it looks up or looks forward. Take a big breath in. You can gently lift the feet as well. Full back stretch, and on the exhale, we'll slowly release everything down to the mat, release the hands. And we'll just take a moment to relax here. You're doing great. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. One more big breath in. On the exhale, let's bring the wrist underneath the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes. We're going to come back into hands and knees. So option to use your bolster, we're going to come to our child's pose. So with our knees out as wide as the mat, toes come to touch. Bolster is for our torso to lay on. So hips can be above the knees or hips above the ankles, whichever feels better. We're going to lay our torso down on the bolster, pick a cheek to lay on, and then you can either reach with your fingertips to the top of your mat, stretching out your back, or you can bend the elbows. That helps open up the chest. So this is a restorative pose, so if you do not feel comfortable, feel free to move. Find what feels good. If you feel too tight or tense, another modification is puppy pose with our knees in together, arms forward. We focus on our breath, relaxing with the exhales. Let's take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, let's slide the wrists underneath the shoulders. We're going to press ourselves back up in the hands and knees. We're going to move the bolster out of the way, all the way up to the top of the mat. We're going to come back into our child's pose and focus on stretching out the back. So once we're in a neutral position, we'll take a big breath in. On the exhale, let's move the hands towards the left side of the mat. You can even come onto the ground. We're going to really stretch with the right fingertips, stretching out the right side of the body. For an extra stretch, we'll be pressing into the hips as well. Big side stretch. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Another big breath in. And on the exhale, you can inch the fingertips back to center. We'll just take a moment to breathe here. Big breath in. And on the exhale, let's move the fingertips towards the right side, really stretching with the left fingertips. Feeling that big stretch in the left side body. We'll take another big breath in. And on the exhale, gently moving the hands back to center. We'll just take a moment to relax here. Big breath in. And on the exhale, let's slide the wrist underneath the shoulders. We're pressing ourselves back over the hands and knees. You can bring the knees back underneath the hips. So gently together. So just shake it out for a minute. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. We're going to start to rock back and forth. You can gently move your hands apart. So we're going to leave more space in between the hands here. Take a big breath in to rock forward with the head. Exhale to rock back with the hips. So we're creating a little bit of momentum here. When you're ready, let's bring the right foot in between the hands. So take your time with the inhale and you rocking forward. Use that momentum to gently bring that left foot in between the hands. So take your time here. Wonderful. We're going to take a moment to rock back on the hip. We're going to gently straighten the left foot, or the left foot. You can have it micro bent, that's okay. Feel free to move the foot in front if we need more space. Option to use your blocks that gives us a little height. We're just folding forward here, stretching out the knee, the leg, stretching out the back. Another big breath in. And on the exhale, bend the knee over the ankle. If you're using blocks, you can move them. If we need to, we'll move the foot underneath the shoulders. Ankle underneath the knee. Awesome. Then we're going to come up into a lunge. So roll the shoulders back. We're squeezing the thighs together to keep us balanced. Let's interlace the fingertips behind the back again. This time we're pushing the hands towards the ground, opening up the chest, big breath in, and on the exhale, option to fold forward. So we're gently hinging from the hips, arms move away from the shoulders. Try not to press into the left thigh. We'll take a big breath in, you're doing great. And on the exhale, we'll come back to center, head over heart, heart over pelvis. We'll release the arms, roll the shoulders, and then let's bring the arms back, framing the left foot on the mat. We'll start to gently rock forward if that feels good. On the exhale, we're going to rock the knee back underneath the hip. So we're on hands and knees, take your time. Let's just move with the body here. So we'll move with the breath for just a moment. Do some cat-cow, big inhale in as we drop the belly. Exhale as we round back. So we'll just take a few breaths like this before we transition to the other side. On your next inhale, we'll come to a tabletop position, so flat back. And then we'll separate the hands just a bit, leaving some extra room in between. We'll start to rock back and forth. Big breath in to rock forward. Exhale to rock back. Just adjusting. Take a big breath in. And when you're ready, on an inhale, on a rock forward, we're going to bring our right foot in between the hands. Awesome. So we're going to do the same thing on the side. So if you'd like to use your blocks, you can bring them into play. And then we'll gently rock back on the hip. If you'd like to move the foot just a little bit in front, that's okay. We're going to try to straighten this right leg. Option to micro bend the knee. Find what feels good. And then we'll focus on a straight spine here. Big breath in. Exhale to relax and release. One more big breath in. And on the exhale, let's bend the right knee over the right ankle. We'll remove the blocks if we're using them. And an option to just readjust. We're going to make sure that our right knee is over the ankle. And then we'll come up into a lunge, rolling out the shoulders when we get up there. Squeezing the thighs in together to keep us balanced. We'll interlace the fingertips behind the back. Big breath in to draw the hands down, away from the shoulders. And on the exhale, if you'd like, you can fold forward. Hands draw away from the shoulders. Big breath in. Long breath out. One more big breath in. And on the exhale, let's slowly come up, head over heart over pelvis. We'll release the hands. And then slowly bring the hands back down to the mat, framing the right foot. And then we'll rock forward. As we rock back, bringing the right knee back underneath the hips. We'll do one more leg stretch and then we're going to get off our knees. So let's tuck the left toes back behind us so our left leg is out straight. And we're going to rock back and forth again. So big breath in to rock forward. Exhale to rock back on the heel. So stretches out our hamstrings, but also stretches out our back as we rock forward. Our head is reaching forward. Nice on the spine. Exhale, you can just pause for a moment on the heel if that feels good. Feel that stretch. Last exhale, and then we'll bring our knee back underneath the hip. Take your time if you want to move a little bit. And then we will bring the right toes underneath, right legs out straight behind us. And we'll start to rock back and forth with the breath. Inhale to rock forward. Exhale to rock back. You're doing great. Take a big breath in. Now on the exhale, bring the right knee underneath the hip. Let's bring our knees to one side, and then we're going to sit our hips down. And then we're sitting, so we're going to cross our legs. We'll touch on our shoulders. Doesn't matter where you're facing, you can just close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. We're going to transition to standing. So if you'd like to do a downward facing dog, we'll come into a forward fold, you can. If you'd like to just come up slowly, that's an option too. So I'm going to do the downward facing dog. So your choice, I'll lead you through this. You can bring the hands closer towards the bolster, tuck the toes, send the hips up. And then we can just gently bend into one knee, root to the opposite heel. And then we'll walk the feet up to the middle of the mat. Hands walk back. So wherever we are, let's all come into a forward fold. You can gently bend the knees. Just take your time to rock side to side. And like you're painting a rainbow on your mat. Take a big breath in. Long breath out. Let's come back to center. Big breath in, bend the knees. And on the exhale, slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Give a big roll in the shoulders at the end. Gently bend the knees. And we're in our mountain pose here, so let's bring the head up towards the ceiling. Fingertips draw down towards the mat. And then shoulders roll down and back.